Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the co-founder of Kingdom Impact Lab, and in this video series we are talking about the Sermon on the Mount and how to apply each of the principles in the Sermon on the Mount to everyday business situations. I'm currently going through the Beatitudes, where I will explain what I interpreted to mean at the current level of my own understanding. I'll give examples what I've personally gone through, and then I'll give you some suggestions based on what I'm currently trying to apply as I build my business on biblical principles. So Beatitude 3 is, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." So this is an interesting one because meek, in today's world, the term meek often has negative connotations associated with things like weakness, whereas in actual fact that's not what the older definitions meant. And so Jordan Peterson explains this quite well, and that's basically meekness in the context of this beatitude means that you have a sword and you know how to use it, but you decide and you choose to keep it sheathed. So it means that you have power, but you are able to control that power. It's having your strength under control. So in this context here, it's basically in business. It's okay. Let me explain this from a different angle, so I can try to understand how it works. I try to understand and develop it myself. So it means having your power under control. So in marketing, as a prime example, in marketing you are able to use language, written language or videos, whatever it is, to influence people. Copywriting is essentially persuasive writing. The definition of persuasive writing is that you are writing things to get people to take action. And what I specialised in was direct response copywriting, where the whole purpose of direct response copywriting is that you would have a single, written asset or video asset, and you would have a goal, an action step that you want someone to take after they watch the video. And in an email, for example, the purpose of the email is to get someone to click a link. Or the purpose of this social media post is to get someone to opt into your email list. The purpose of this sales page here is to get someone to click to the checkout page. And so you would then use all this persuasive writing with that one goal as the one action you want someone to take is the objective and the goal of writing, and that is essentially direct response copywriting. And so when you learn about it and you get good at it, and now especially with AI, when it becomes virtually instantaneous, you're able to have a lot of influence over people without even realizing it. And this will tie into what Jordan Peterson teaches, where we perceive the world through story. There's an infinite number of facts, and facts on their own are kind of meaningless and incoherent. We need a story to weave all these facts together into some kind of a coherent narrative which we perceive as our reality, kind of thing. So to put that simply, that we see the world through a story, through a narrative, and it's the story that we tell ourselves. Now, in the world and in marketing, especially in the marketplace and in business, the big story here is it's transactional, and business is conducted in order to make money, and business is conducted in a transactional setting. It's conducted in a secular environment. Faith and business don't align, they're mismatched, kind of thing. And that's what a lot of Christians would feel. They can't bring their faith and things like that into the workforce and into the workplace and into the marketplace and into the business. Well, if you have a relatively large following on social media and a relatively large target audience, and you are sending content out to them, you are in a position of power. You are in a position where you are planting seeds. The question is, are you planting seeds that are having kingdom impact? Or are you planting seeds based on what the cultural influences around you and the spirit of the marketplace and all of the pressures and all of the worldly things that are pulling you in different directions are telling you to do? Now, for me, in my own business, Freedom in Marketing, I spent so much time, effort, energy, money and resources just trying to get some traction and trying to get it off the ground. It did not work. So the stuff that I was coming out with was how to make money and how to do this and how to do that, which it was all factually correct stuff. But it was 100% based on everything I've done in the past, which is, you know, through the mindset of the direct response copywriter of money, 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 conversions, numbers, all of this stuff. And I was contributing to it. So, you know, in the second beatitude, which is blessed are those who mourn, I talked about this at length. Now, when I was working with clients and they have big email lists and their emails are being read by tens of thousands of people, and then you're sending daily emails out. So they literally, the emails I wrote was read millions of times, kind of thing. Well, what you're saying, if they perceive the business as an authority, carries a lot of credibility, and you are influencing the narrative within their lives. You are providing information and story and context to the way that they interpret the world around them. And so, as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. And in a business setting, you do have a lot of responsibility, especially if the people that are part of your, you know, social media, email list, your influence sphere, whatever you want to call it, that are receiving your content and your messages, that you never know that one of them may be paying extra hard attention, and you may influence them, you know, without even realizing you're planting seeds in them. And so the question here is that, what would you rather do? Would you rather be planting seeds that align with kingdom impact and what you want to do, or do you want to be potentially just creating content because that's what everyone else around you is doing? That's what the business coaches and the people you listen to say I'm doing, is sort of find out what other people are doing and do the same because it's working and all of this. But then you're also planting the seeds of things that go against what you believe, and you may not even be aware of doing it. And that is kind of the way that I would interpret this as an analogy to say, blessed are the meek, because as a business owner, with my target audience, you're an established business and you have a high ticket offer. So in order to have a high ticket offer, you've got to have some kind of cash flow, and you're going to be working with people one-on-one. So you are in a position of power in the way that you influence them, and you have a choice. You have a choice to exert that power in a way that is beneficial to them and in their best interest, or you just react to the world around you and just react and make decisions based on what everyone else is doing, which then would make your interactions entirely transactional, which, if you're a Christian entrepreneur, directly contradicts who you are as a Christian and what you do as a Christian. You have to proactively use your influence to plant seeds in a positive way. You don't have to go out and create content that is overtly biblical and quoting scripture and all of these things, but you could be indirectly promoting Christian values. And the way that has worked for me, the solution to my transformation from hitting a financial target and finding no meaning and searching for meaning and purpose, to suddenly finding everything I do has meaning and purpose. The solution is a quest to become Christ-like. And a quest to become Christ-like directly ties in with my growth mindset. I find enjoyment in the progression towards a goal, not achieving it. And it essentially means, in practical terms, that it's the pursuit of excellence in my ability, excellence in my character, excellence in the way that I am in terms of integrity. It's the pursuit of extravagant love and radical kindness, which basically means you put others' needs ahead of yours. You go out there to humbly serve people to the best of your ability, and that is the solution to me, which is instantly took meaningless chasing money to a life full of meaning here by the pursuit of Christ-likeness and those different aspects of what it means to become Christ-like in my day-to-day decisions, day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, and it directly impacts how I'm making decisions all the time. And that's what gave me meaning and purpose. And so you can do the same. You don't have to be overtly biblical, theological, or whatever it is. I once heard a pastor say to me, oddly enough, we went back to England, so my parents could meet the new baby, and just up the road, 5 minutes up the road, was a community centre where they had a Nigerian church, like an African church, predominantly Nigerians, and we went there for a few weeks and enjoyed it. And one of the pastors came over from Nigeria to give a sermon, and something that she said really stuck with me, and it was sort of so profound that I remember it now, and it directly plays into everything I'm trying to do. And what she said was, people don't read the Bible, they read Jesus through you, which essentially means that it's your actions and your character and the way that you behave is the way that people read Jesus through you, and that's what will naturally attract people to you, which is how you can share the gospel with them if you want to, or you can just operate your business in a secular environment on your own set of core values, which is rooted in the Christian identity and you know how you need to behave and what you need to do and how to act, and that's what you can do. And that way you directly align with blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, because you are in a position of power, and you're in a position of power because of the influence you have over people, and you have consciously made the choice to proactively pursue Christ-like values as your North Star. You do it, the people in your company do it as they follow your lead. You can create SOPs and frameworks and guidelines and all kinds of things on how to behave, and then your company can exude Christ-likeness in everything they do, which means that when you're putting content out and when you're interacting with people through the marketplace, whether you've got a high ticket offer or not, whether you're working one-on-one, whatever it is you're doing, through writing books, creating products, all of these things, you have the power, but you're proactively having a positive influence and planting seeds that do align with kingdom impact. And that's how you can do that. Perhaps I've misinterpreted what this means, and like I said, honestly, I'm recording these videos to help me develop my own understanding of them. So if I've missed the mark on this one a little bit, it doesn't matter, because at some point in the future I'll be revisiting these and I'll do it again. But that's all I've got for you. If you found this useful, check out the previous videos on Beatitude 1, Blessed are the poor in spirit, and Beatitude 2, which blessed are those who mourn, or check out the next video, which is on Beatitude 4, Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. See you in the next video.